Between a divided America, a raging pandemic, and a looming economic crisis, incoming U.S. President Joe Biden's to-do list will be a mile long. And somewhere on it, but certainly not at the top, will be repairing the most fractious EU-U.S. relationship in modern history. Donald Trump's 4 years in office have been peppered with transatlantic acrimony. And while he is hardly the first shock to the partnership, he has been the most vocal.
All of those countries were ripping off the United States for many years.
The Biden administration is expected to usher in a return to decorum, with renewed collaboration on things like climate change and the Iran nuclear deal. But a number of Trump-era clashes will remain. An $11.5 billion tit-for-tat tariff war over Boeing and Airbus subsidies still needs to be resolved. There's also the long-running conflict over defense spending, with the U.S. believing Europe doesn't pay its fair share. But the biggest row could be over big tech. In December, Brussels tabled new legislation to rein in and potentially break up tech giants, a move Washington sees as targeting U.S. companies. David O'Sullivan, the former EU ambassador to the U.S. during the Obama and Trump presidencies, says this will be a different kind of relationship.
It does require Europe to stand more on its own 2 feet, to take more responsibility for its own security, its own behavior globally, and to become a more equal partner with the United States.
Brexit could further complicate the repair work. The UK has long been Washington's first port of call for all things Europe-related, with a special relationship stretching back decades. With London now outside the inner circle and a competitor to the EU, the U.S. will have to foster new relationships.
In terms of trade, economic issues, and on certain political issues, Dublin is now the voice in the EU room that knows what Washington's views are. I think it's going to be a significant difference in the way that the dynamic takes place between the U.S., Ireland, and the rest of the Europeans.
While the relationship between the U.S. and the EU is changing, and had been long before Trump entered the Oval Office, many aspects of the partnership continue to thrive.
Transatlantic trade topped $1.4 trillion in 2019, and both sides remain leading investors in the other. They also share democratic beliefs, which make them strong allies on the global stage. That's unlikely to change anytime soon, leaving the EU and the U.S. in good times and in bad, the most deeply intertwined partners in the world.